Now he wants to understand his white rage.
I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest.
Yeah, I'd call this pretty extreme. Aaron here, member of the Air Force, minus the cover for some reason. Puts utilities on, but doesn't include the cover. I know being a stickler, weird timing, does this. Of course, I can't show it. We could never see it because some reason or the other. But how's this going to make any difference to Israel if he does a Smokey the Bear routine in front of the Israeli embassy? What's going through this young man's head? We got a problem, Houston. Stand by.
I am an active duty member of the United States Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit in genocide.
What exactly is he complicit in? Do we give money to Israel and they're fighting the Palestinians? What's going on in this man's head to think this is going to make a difference? It won't be gone out of the news cycle in 24 hours. Wow.
I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all.
Well, when you've taught a group of young people that they're colonizers and the enemy, and then you recruit them into the military, here are the talking points. The oppression by the colonizers, and somehow or the he's 25. He's not a 18-year-old. And he thinks this is going to matter. Like he's that important, so we're going to stop giving money to Israel. I mean, what's going on through his head? Like if you talk to him beforehand, hey, Aaron, what are you thinking here? I don't get it.
This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal.
Was it different when he signed up 3 years ago? His job, what the Air Force does, pretty much drops bombs, right? It's one of the main missions. He probably supports that effort. What did he think he was joining up to? Do you think it was going to be dropping water bottles and bags of sugar and rice? I mean, what exactly was going through his head, right? Was he playing too much COD? Did he live a delusion? Because this kid, you hear his talking points. He's got them all down. Colonizers, oppression. Look closely at that container of the Petro. It's got a Smokey the Bear logo on it. It's pretty ironic. I mean, I feel sorry for the young man. He's passed away, obviously.
Hi, sir, can I help you?
Well, I think you get the end result here. Gets up there, decides to put his cover on, says free Palestine to nobody. Here the police officer saying, sir, can I help you? Sets himself ablaze. Now, I understand a lot of you think don't want to join. Military's co-opted by the powerful. What's new there? But does this make any sense to you? Take a look at some of these images, which are even more on point based on today. Stand by. So after they put out the fire, we got one guy with the fire extinguisher, one guy with the pew-pew. That's interesting. Tricky, right? So what is going on through people's head? Young man somehow gets in. He's got all the General Miley talking points down to the T. I'm a colonizer, my white oppression, my white rage. I understand it. I want the bombing to stop in Palestine, so I'm going to do a Smokey the Bear number on myself. This kid looks pretty normal. He was 25 and did the Smokey the Bear job on himself. I don't know how you recruit somebody in a couple of years ago, and this is their mental makeup later. I think he had to know what the Air Force does, what the military does, breaks things, kills people. Wherever they're pointed, when they're let loose, here's the young fella. And somehow or the other, he thinks this is going to matter. You could feel that way. But is this going to make any difference? Is putting yourself into this state going to matter to what the military does in front of the embassy? I find this to be a delusion. Like you're that important. Now I guess this is the ultimate virtue signal, right? I really stand with the Palestinians. So I'm going to set myself ablaze. I don't know what we do here when you've got people in the military with the exact talking points. Now, we push this on all the campuses. Israel bad, Palestine good. Okay, but what are we doing? I don't think we're the one dropping the bombs on Palestine. Now, we're supplying the munitions, right? But what's new there? Is anything new? If we didn't supply them, the Chinese would supply them. Somebody's going to sell the weapons. I don't know if there's ever that self-talk in your head where you go, it's maybe a bad idea. I'm not getting anywhere. Tell me what you think in the comments. Odd. He's trying to do one of them jobs the monk did in Vietnam. Set himself ablaze. We've seen that one, and the news cycle goes on. This kid, nothing will come of this. They're not going to stop giving weapons to the Israelis and funding them. You may be against it, but what does this do in the end? Except go, we got a real mental health crisis in our military. I think we know that in our society. And these kids, General Miley, I want to understand my white rage comment. Now he wants to understand his white rage. He wants to Smokey the Bear himself up. Thanks for watching.